or that.
I already just put you on my Instagram saying, oh, I'm on Mass Media Podcast Net right now.
No problem. You're good. You're good. All right. Let's see here. Where would I go now? All right. Everybody, you are in for some great stuff. Expect to be fired up after this session here. Our awesome guest right now is Krista Mashore, who is the host of the Fired Up podcast with Krista Mashore. She is an amazing real estate agent, but also just a rock star coach when it comes to helping her agents and other real estate professionals really take their business to the next level. She's top agent there in California and just doing amazing things. And her podcast will get you fired up in a more variety of ways. So we're honored to have Krista join us today. How's it going? How's everything going out there today?
Good, Scott. I want to first thank you so much for having me on here. I love what you're doing. I appreciate you just adding so much value to everybody and just being great.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it as well. We're having fun. We are having fun. We're almost 2/3 of the way, 3/4 of the way through almost here. So we're great nuggets. I've gotten some great stuff. I'm taking some notes on everybody's session here. So let's talk a little about the Fired Up podcast. What made you start a podcast and kind of go that route, huh?
Well, I know, the more you produce content, the more that you add value, the more that you're going to be able to not only help people, but also gain exposure for your movement. And it's been great for me. I do a lot of video, and video works well, but I know that people don't always want to watch video. Sometimes they just want to listen while they're driving or getting ready. And I know that I do that all the time. So I thought, time to start a podcast.
I love it. That's true. Now, what have you found? I'm sure it's definitely helped you with your coaching side of the business, but have you seen a direct impact with you in your sales and your other stuff that you're doing?
Well, yeah. So basically we launched our podcast. We started it in August. I think August 4th was our launch date. And as of today, this month, we already have 8,600 downloads this month. And so our best download month was 9,000, and we're anticipated to supersede that. So that means that's a lot of people downloading my stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so, it's just giving me more credibility, more exposure. And we are all experts in what we do, but if nobody knows that you're an expert, like for example, I've sold 2,000 homes in my career. I'm an expert, but if nobody knows that I'm an expert, they're not going to want to have me teach them how to do it. Right. So now by having a podcast, it just really sets you apart as the authority figure. It gets people to know you, to like you, to trust you. And then it gives them a reason to want to listen. And so, it kind of just brings them into your world and breaks down the barriers so that they actually want to work with you.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. It definitely builds that rapport right off the bat in a much rapid pace because they've binged you and get to know you. Definitely. We've heard that throughout, which is great. What has been the biggest surprise that was that you didn't expect from launching your podcast that's popped up?
It's just that it's once you get in the groove of it, it's not that hard. I think that, my mentor, Russell Brunson, he told me to do it a year before I did. And it just took me longer than I had anticipated. And, you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do editing. You can make mistakes. And I've had times where my daughter walks in or my dog barks or my husband, flushes the toilet, whatever it might be. And I just keep going and people appreciate it. So once you get the groove on it and you get it all set up initially, it's not that difficult. And you can do it on any subject, any person, anyone. It doesn't matter whether you're a real estate agent, an insurance salesman, you're like you and you buy notes or whatever it is that you do, it works.
Do you see, and I think being a realtor, you've got so many people that you can interview, and because there's so many different vendors and different experts that fall in that aspect of things. I think it's just an amazing thing. But I always find I don't see that many realtors doing true podcasts. There's so many out there, and I just don't see what is that kind of drive you bonkers a little bit.
Well, had I not been coaching, I absolutely would have done a real estate podcast because people get to know you. Again, it doesn't have to all be real estate. It can be what's happening in the community, local hotspots. You can interview people. It can be tips and tricks, marketing. People love marketing, entrepreneurial ideas. It doesn't have to just be real estate. But my podcast is focused on actually helping real estate agents better their business. It's more geared towards entrepreneurs, marketing, how to utilize digital marketing and social media. So I'm not going after locally. I'm going after more for my coaching. But had I not been focused on my coaching, I absolutely would be doing a podcast because I don't think that you should have all of your eggs in one basket. And I heavily focus on teaching social media and Facebook ads and all that. But I think that you need to be much more well-versed as any type of a business owner, as any type of an entrepreneur. So that's why I think it's just a great idea to have. And if anybody would have told me that, we would have had 50,000+ downloads in since August, which is only 4.5 months, I would have not ever believed it. So I definitely say you should do it.
Has it turned out to be easier than you expected?
Yeah, absolutely. And people are always like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? And that becomes a barrier initially, but as soon as you start getting on a roll, it just becomes easier and easier. And I haven't recorded a couple podcasts lately individually, and I'm seeing myself get in my own head funk about, what am I going to talk about? What I'm going to say? So I know I just need to, give me a couple hours, go listen to a couple other podcasts, go refresh myself on a couple of books, and then talk about the book that you read, or just kind of get going. And once you get going, it's easier and easier and easier. I mean, there's been times where I've recorded 6 podcasts in one, in a matter of 2 hours, because it just flows,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get in that groove. You stick with the groove as best you can to kind of book up, store those episodes for times when you get busy, or you do hit a slower time and things like that. I think we all go through that.
Mm-hmm.
From your guests that you've had on, the other things, has there been something that somebody shared that was that was not only helped your business and your podcast, but others? Is there a thing that really stood out?
I interview a lot of top producing agents and top producing just people that have, multi-million-dollar companies or really different savvy entrepreneurial, mindsets. And one of the biggest things that almost everyone says is that you just got to go, right? People are you have to be willing just to start. It doesn't have to be perfect. You got to start, and you've got to be consistent. And I find that to be so true in business and in life, that, people are so worried about ready, aim, that they never fire, right? They're so ready. They're just getting so prepared, aiming and getting ready for it, that they never actually fire. And had you just fired, you will learn as you go. And even if you spend, a month getting ready and then 3 months aiming, and then you finally fire, you're going to still make just as many mistakes as you made had you not just gone for it. But you would have learned along the way. You would have progressed and gotten, moved forward. And most everyone always says that, as well as how important it is to keep your mind intact. Mindset is everything,
Yeah, that definitely mindset comes in. How's Russell's training helped you with your podcast? Because Russell's a great guy, and love listening to anything I can get Russell's hands on and hearing him speak. He fires me up too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, before hiring Russell as my mentor and joining his inner circle, I had been trying to kind of dive into the coaching business for several years prior, and I couldn't sort of break the hack, right? And I'd hired coaches, and they had me do all these things, and it just didn't work. And it wasn't because I wasn't implementing, it just wasn't working, right? He absolutely helped me break through. I've been coaching for exactly 25 months now, and we've grossed over $7.1 million in 25 months just based upon what Russell taught me. And so that was basically, you're cute. That's basically, utilizing social media, producing content properly, promote it, getting it out there properly, right? Because you can do content, or you can create videos, or do whatever else, but if you don't properly expose it and properly produce it, it doesn't make a difference. No one sees it anyways. And he taught me how to write my book. And based upon my book, I just had a training, and there was 36 people. And out of the 36 people, I said, how many of you have read my book? And 35 of them raised their hand. And just that book, producing that content and creating my funnel, is what has helped me, have over 50,000 people on my list, and to be able to have over 700-800 people go through our program and generate the money that we have.
That's phenomenal, Krista.
All from his training,
That's good stuff. Now, what has there been a door or anything that's opened up in the last few months from the podcast that you just were surprised or came out of the blue?
Not yet. I will say it really hasn't. What I will say is we're getting some really big names on the podcast. Like we just had, we just interviewed Brendan Kane, the author of 1 Million Followers. He was on it, and some pretty big names. I'm kind of surprised that are saying yes. So the thing about a podcast is it just opens up doors, right? You might try to talk to somebody forever and they don't want to talk to you, but then when you say, hey, I'd like you to be on my podcast, you're giving them value, you're supporting them, you're helping them market themselves. It's really difficult to say no to somebody when they want to be on your podcast. And don't be afraid that you initially don't have a lot of people, because what happens is the more that you grow, people start to go back and listen to previous episodes, and people that are on podcasts know that. So they just want as much exposure as possible, and it's free for them.
Yeah, that's true. It's always a great way to add that extra value versus somebody that's just, well, hey, I want to pick your brain. Hey, I want to have you on my podcast so I then can pick your brain.
Yeah.
Get the message out. That's great stuff. Now, are you finding you have a full-time marketing person that helps you out with a variety? You have a full-time assistant staff that help you out with a variety of things. Have you found that obviously easier to help you delegate with things, but having an assistant is one of the most important things to taking your business to the next level? Would you agree to that, or anything you'd like to add to that?
Yes. I mean, I could never do this like on my own. I can't even imagine. I mean, I just can't, because I'm just doing a lot of things, right? I'm running a multi-million-dollar real estate company, a multi-million-dollar coaching company. I'm doing Facebook ads and YouTube and podcasts, and I have to have somebody help. So, you know, finding somebody to actually, I just record it and I send it off, and they do the show notes for me. They upload it everywhere. They do the editing and make it really, really simple. And I didn't even learn like how to do it. I actually went, John Lee Dumas, Podcaster's Paradise. I took that training. I went through the training, and then I had my assistant go through the training, and we set everything up, and that was great. But after that, now that I knew how to do it, what to do it, I just passed it on. And that's the best way to actually help you actually start implementing, because doing it on your own is difficult. And you can find somebody on Fiverr that knows how to do podcasts, and it's very affordable. You know, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You can actually do it for really, really affordable. You know, you can find people on Fiverr that will work for you 40 hours a week for $600 a month. So they can learn to do anything, and you can tell them to take the training, figure it out, and boom, you're good.
There you go. Defer, delegate, or delete it to help you go to the next level. Great stuff there. Krista, what's the best way for people to connect with you or find out more about you? Best way to connect?
KristaMashore.com. And then I would love to promote my 3 clients in 30 days. It's the number 3 clients, the number 30.com, 3 clients in 30.com. And we have a challenge that people can go through. They get coached by me for 2 weeks. The average lender and real estate agent picks up 2 new clients in 30 days. We've had people pick up 6, but on the average of the people we've had go through, the average is picking up 2 clients. So individual coaching, we teach you innovative, relevant 21st century strategies to rock your business and stand out as the authority figure, and how to actually attract business and stop chasing it. It's only $7. It's like super cheap.
There you go. Yeah. Great stuff there, Krista. Well, thank you so much for being on Pitch-a-Pod. Pitch, your show's doing amazing things. I guarantee we'll be seeing more of you as you rock out and keep kicking butt and taking names. Thanks for being on here today.
Thanks, God. I appreciate it. Everyone go to Fire It Up with Krista Mashore, and you are a rock star. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right. That was great. I like that. I think I have a lot of